Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses. You already came on W. This is the first episode. Alright, man, like it or not, aka Lion Podcast, man. What the fuck you lying? Shut up. So, we were supposed to have a very special episode with both of my cousins, man. I think only one of them are going to be joining us. We have Travis Dean coming through, aka Caddy. My other cousin, Almighty King D, was supposed to join. Not sure if he's gonna be able to pop in or not, but let me see. All right, here we go. I think we lit. Connect. Accept. I accepted it. No, I keep accepting it. I don't know why it's not accepting it. It says that you're unable to join. I don't know what's going on, bro. So I'm gonna do it one more time, and if anything, because KD's not gonna be able to join us today, we can actually go live on Facebook. But
Oh, there you go.
oh, there we
There we
go.
go.
Yeah, what up, man?
Yeah, what's up, cuz?
Chilling, man.
Happy Easter, bro.
What?
Happy Easter.
Happy? We don't do that Happy Easter shit around here, man.
But yeah.
Yeah, man. What's good with you, bro?
Shit, chilling. I didn't know you was gonna be outside. I would have got outside too, you know? Shit. It ain't nothing.
This is by force. It's not by choice, my brother.
Shit.
Yeah, but so the last live we were talking about, I introduced a couple of the topics. The Christian Toby dude, RIP to him, that got killed by his you already know. It was the snow.
Yeah.
You know, interracial relations, as you thought that we should talk about last night. Cam Newton's statements to the what the fuck is that? The $1 million worth of game with that's Wallow and what's the bro's name? The rapper dude. Gilly the Kid. And then we
Oh,
have
yeah.
Burden of
We, we,
Masculinity,
we, don't,
Miss Angela.
we don't really fuck with Gully the Kid because of the love beef he had with, a certain rapper that's happen to be my favorite rapper.
Man, that's because he wrote that whole first Carter, man. That's because he spilled his black genius all over. That's what happened, man. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. But Gilly was
But
real deep in Chicago, man. He was real cool out there. Like
I said,
DMX.
you outside, I'm outside. But
Oh,
I
that's a
think I
fact,
think it's a
man.
little chilly out here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the Midwest still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's still
Still the
wintertime
Midwest,
out
like
there,
40
man.
degrees out. Huh?
Facts. Oh, damn. So
I don't know
first,
what's going on.
as far as the Christian Toby, how you say his last name? Oh, Boom Sally.
I,
What you got going on
I,
about that situation?
my whole thing with the whole situation is she must have really hated dude in the beginning.
Okay.
In the beginning. Because you don't do something like that just because of, a certain situation right out of anger or anything like that. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so she must have hated dude from the beginning.
From what people are saying, well, from their observation, people are saying like she didn't really like dude like that, even though she was supposed to be. You know, people like to throw around the word influencer a lot. I don't know if she was an influencer or she was just an Instagram thought, but at the end of the day, she never posted, bro. He posted her every day like he just won the lottery, like he had a pocket full of unlimited coupons, and she never posted dude at all. We had people, his family saying that he
Hmm.
was a youth minister. He was very involved in the church, and things like that. But the media is trying to say that and this is a real problem. The media is trying to say that he was involved in some pimping because they were both from Texas. They moved to Miami, and there is some question whether or not that she was turning tricks. What do you think about that?
Okay, hold on. First of all, are we talking about old school pimping? Like, you fuck the dude for the money and you know what I'm saying? Or we talking about this new age OnlyFans pimping where you fuck your boyfriend on camera and people pay to see that.
Well, I don't know exactly what
That's
kind of
that's
activities
what
she was involving herself with on her OnlyFans, but they're trying to say that he was lining her up with clients pretty much. Like he was a manager, which is not what pimps do, but that I guess.
shoot. I don't know because I know a couple pimps and everything,
Hmm.
you know, and they don't do anything with no clients or nothing.
Exactly.
They deal with the female. The female deal with the clients personally, and that's it. They conduct business however they conduct business, and the pimp get his little break.
Okay, so at the end of the day, for people, I mean, I think it would be the easiest thing to call him. They call him a human trafficker, but that has the undertone of them saying that he's a fucking. And I'm like, bro, this man dealt with cryptocurrency, and I guess that would. I mean, I guess you could take that from that, but at the end of the day, the situation was messed up. There's no excuse,
Hold on.
right?
First of all, because I looked on this thing, he's a devout, minister and everything of his religion, and plus he grew up,
Hmm.
you know, in Nigeria, right?
Exactly. No,
So,
no,
and
no. I think he grew up here. I think he grew up
he
here.
grew up here,
I think he
but
grew up
his
in
but his family
Texas.
is originally from Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
Because I read somewhere him being saturated with Nigeria. That's what I read.
Okay.
I don't, so that's okay. So anyway, so he had a somewhat Nigerian parents, a Nigerian kind of upbringing, right? You was saying?
He went to a Nigerian Christian church. Yeah. All of that. Community.
Okay. First of all, I'm gonna say that Nigerians and the ones I know, you know, are very conservative.
Hmm.
They're not doing anything of what we talking about just now. They're not doing that.
Not typically, no.
Nah. You
People
might,
are
you might.
people. People are
I was saying,
people. There's a possibility, but at the end of the day, that's not the stereotype. That's not what they're known for, and it's not typical.
exactly. It's not typical. Okay, we can at least agree with that. It's not typical.
So one thing that is typical in the United States and something that's going on is being more popularized. Especially you can look at the media, all these commercials. Is interracial dating, and I mean this is important because it's so much more common, especially in the last 50 years where it was stigmatized. It was even illegal at some point. Now, we touched on this last night, but I can't exactly remember everything that we touched on. So, why do you why did you find it so important that we needed to highlight this topic pertaining to this situation?
Oh, I kind of, you know, dating a certain, person or whatever
Hmm.
back in the day. Different colors me, and she had, some kind of messed up, ideas of what a relationship would be like with me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Undertone racism, stuff like that. So, got a, glad a motherfucker had to, vacate out that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the number one thing about it is that scares people is the differences in culture, but at the end of the day, certain things I think racism is very relevant, unfortunately, but at the end of the day, I think it's more of a like where you grew up type of thing, like a caste system. Like if you grew up, let's say if you grew up in the hood, right? There are certain things that's gonna transcend whatever behaviors that you have, because at the end of the day, there's still gonna be a certain way that you do things. If somebody grew up in another type of area, if you grew up in the country, those motherfuckers act way different. Like, for example, gossiping is normal. Matriarchy is normal. Um, Feeling like you have to depend on the large community, like you don't. People are very forgiving in the country because they feel like they don't have any other fucking choice because it's a we all we got type of mentality. You know what I mean? So when it comes to interracial dating, I think it's important that people do understand the culture, but it's more of a, I want to say like a socioeconomical concern type of thing.
No, no,
What's up,
no.
man?
Hold
Chilling.
on. I want to touch back on that.
Right.
And not only that, it's the it's kind of the upbringing when it comes to interracial dating and stuff like that. Because
Exactly.
how was you raised by your parents? If your parents is racist and stuff like that, you kind of you, you kind of think it's some of the things you might say as you get older and as an adult, and your little situation with the person you're dealing with, you might say something that you think is harmless to you, but it's not to them. You know what I'm saying? It's
Bro, perfect example. When I met my BM, got her pregnant. I went to her father's house. This nigga's he was raised in Chicago, but their family's from Missouri. He stayed in Kankakee, bro. We went to his house for Thanksgiving. I got in the car. Before we got out, something told me, my intuition was screaming, Aaron, ask her this. And I was like, Liz, did you tell your dad I'm black? And she smiled and she was like, nah. And I was like, bro, you didn't tell this old ass 75-year-old man that you got pregnant by a black man and you got this black ass baby that he's supposed to embrace as his grandchild. So I go in the house and she was like, all right, I'm about to go in the bathroom. This man came out his room and the first thing he said was, who let this nigger in my house? And I was like, I'm Liz's boyfriend. And he was like, Liz? She came out and it wasn't a big problem. And I was like, your dad just called me a nigger? And she was like, well, that's just how he talks. That's the old ways. Like they didn't say black, they didn't say Negro. I'm like, how old is this guy? He's like 82. I'm like, bro, you gotta tell him. And she was like, he's been saying that for the last 60 years. It's not gonna change. I'm like, but at the end of the day,
You better tell this old
it's
ass
just,
motherfucker and say something before he get a two-piece. You know what I'm saying?
bro, what?
He better get a two-piece of the biscuit for dinner for real.
And then he tried to feed me, like, yeah. I'm like, I don't want to eat none of this. You just call me a nigger. It might be some glass in this. He was looking at me and trying to make all these weird ass, white ass jokes. But at the end of the day, I'm not. It's different, man. It's different. Just how I think, communication, manners, a lot of shit. Mannerisms, whole lot of shit, bro. But that's a large example. So that's pretty extreme, but at the end of the day, that's reality.
True.
But what,
Hold on, I'm gonna say something.
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna say something to the audience. What up, Irv Gotti? Michael Irvin, how you doing today?
What's up, man? We got
I'm glad you joined.
Mikolai. We got a whole bunch of people come in here that I did not. We got Ron the artist. What's up, man? We got Daniel. What's up to you? Zachary Coleman. What's up? The first person that came in here was 2_Cosmic Kitty. But let me ask you this: Do you think there is benefits of interracial dating or
Yeah,
relations?
it's, honestly, it's a benefit to any relationship. And if it's
Okay.
and if it's not a and if the relationship is not beneficial for you, get the fuck out.
Because I called you on accident because I was trying to check my battery. Can
It's
you
all
hear me?
good. It's all good.
All right. There's a benefit to all relationships, and if it's not, then it's
Damn,
not the
hold on. What happened to the
relationship.
volume now? Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. Same volume?
Yeah, something your phone or something. I can't. I don't know. I don't know if it's my phone or your phone.
All right. Is it the same, worse, better?
Still the same.
All right. It should be better now. What the fuck? All right.
Hold on. Commercial breaking, please.
Ah, that was my shit because I was trying to check my fucking battery. All right. Better? We good? Same? Different? All right.
Yeah, still.
It's good. Can you hear me?
Hold on.
I gotta find a different way. Yeah.
There you go. That's better. That's
All
better.
right. As
I have
far
to
as the
reset the app.
benefits, I obviously didn't. I didn't hear that. Can you repeat what you said the benefits are, if there are any, specifically for interracial dating?
Yeah, give me a minute. You know, motherfucker,
So I think the
something.
biggest thing is understanding that just being able to learn from other people's cultures. I mean, that's the obvious. Other than that, I mean, people are people, bro. I think if people think
Yeah,
it's
true.
anything other than what I, because Kodak Black said some ignorant ass
Hold
motherfucker
on. No,
shit.
hold on. Just in case, just in case you got bad credit, get your white girl with some good credit. I'm telling you.
Yeah, get anybody listening. Hell yeah. Yeah. The thing about it
I
is,
won't say anybody. If they black, you got to get some good credit and a little bit of money. But a white person, you just need good credit. For real.
that's a
They quicker to
fact.
get that loan to a black white person. They quicker to get that loan to a white person. I'm
That
telling you.
is true. That is true. I didn't even really consider that. I never really thought about that. I mean, I have, obviously, but that wasn't one of the points. But as far as the negatives, a lot of people have to understand. Even look at this, the Christian dude, the Christian Toby dude. Now, looking at all these different cultures, all these different races, we all have gone through different things to get us where we are as a people and as a community. So with that, there's going to be positive things and negative things. There's going to be positive things that you're used to. There's going to be things that you can praise your race for. There's going to be things that you can uplift each other with. Styles of communication, music, all kind of shit. But at the end of the day, each culture, each race has its own form of sickness. A lot of people do shit because of the things that their people have gone through as a race or what have you. So when people try to do all of that, I'm not against it. I'm not going to encourage or discourage anybody. Do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, people do things according to a lot of shit. And if you're not ready for that, or if you don't expect that shit, then you should do some investigation. Number one, and number two, if you were, let's say if you were to date inside your race, one of the benefits is you already know what to expect as far as the negative shit. If you go to somebody else's shit, you go to somebody else's culture, you go to somebody else's race, you don't know what these motherfuckers have been through on a cultural level as a people, where they come from, their country. You don't know what the fuck to expect. And it might be normal to them but it's not normal to you and it's negative. So how are you going to respond to that? You know what I'm saying? Like all the whole
Hold on,
don't fuck with them white girls that get you into trouble. You know, that's
hold on,
real
hold on.
recent.
Look, hold on. I wanna pause this with our conversation for a second. The Boston Celtics just beat the Brooklyn Nets 115-114. Jason
Right
Tatum just
on.
made the game-winning layup.
Oh
My
shit, that's
bad.
what's up. Hey, blessings to them, man. That's cool. But what do you have to say about that? Like not knowing what somebody else is gonna do that's normal to them. I'm gonna give you an example. Like my girl's Mexican, so we go outside and she's like, "Why are you looking at that girl?" And she'll make a deal out of it because that's just their thing. Niggas don't do that. White girls definitely don't do that. And I'm just like, bitch, I could look what the fuck. That's a woman. I like women. I could look at her ass if I want to. But I'm asking Mexican dudes like, is this a thing? Is that y'all's culture? And he's like, yeah. Oh, you did that when a fine girl walks up to you, you just gotta do this and just try not to. I'm like, nigga, like, what the fuck? So I can't look at women now. So I'm supposed to be a homosexual now because of your culture. That's some weird shit to me. That's just one example. There's a plethora of examples. What would you think about that?
Hold on. Trump, when I dated my little Mexican little joint, but then again, we only dated for like a couple months, so it wasn't really special. Um, I don't even know. I just hated the the thing, she didn't. Hold on. Let me backtrack. So when we first started hanging out, the
Mm.
first day we hung out or whatever, she invites me into her house, da da da. So I'm thinking, okay, nobody gonna be there, blah blah blah. Me and her chilling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is when after I dropped the pig off and everything, got to drop the pig. So so after we get finished that, we chilling, laying, watching a movie and stuff.
Right.
And mind you, because this chick lived on the by on the south side by Midway and shit, So
Right.
I made sure the doors was locked after after I got in, I'm
Mm-hmm.
make sure the doors locked. So people come in the house, so they must got a key. We chilling, just looking at these motherfuckers coming in one by one, two by two. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck, 3 by 3. So I'm just looking like, who are these people? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm, I'm, I'm sitting there. Nobody, everybody acknowledge old girl and nothing, and I'm just sitting there on the couch like, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me, huh? Who are these motherfuckers?
Who are these niggas? My brother.
Exactly.
Hold on, bitch. You better have no motherfucking brothers.
So she was like, oh, that's my sister. That's her boyfriend. This, that. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
my mom, sister. I'm like, your mom, sister, hanging out with all these people like that too. Like, man, and at the time, I was a little heated at the time, so I got that strap on me.
Right.
So because I was like literally, I was about to start busting, and until I seen a little girl, because I see one grown ass female that's about my age, and a couple dudes. I'm sitting there thinking this setup. I'm about bang bang bang. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to shoot my way out.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there like, oh, she's like, yeah, I forgot they was coming over this and that.
No, she
I'm like,
didn't.
I'm like, you ain't gonna tell me what was going on today. You had a prior engagement. I would never came. I don't want to meet your people the first time I drop in.
Exactly.
The
I'm
first
not
day
the
I drop in,
first.
I ain't trying to meet nobody but you. Nobody but you and your pussy. That's it. If he got kids, I ain't trying to meet them little motherfuckers either. At the first day.
Bro. Yeah, that was that the battery notification. But that's the thing, bro. I had a little African thing do that to me now. I was in high school, but at the end of the day, she told me the first time, bro. She said, this is what she said. Yeah, you could come over and we could do whatever, but my dad gets off. Now, we get out of school at 3:40, bro. She said my dad gets off at like 6, but sometimes he comes home a little early. So in my mind, I'm like, are you trying to set me up to meet Pops? The first day, I'm not trying to meet your motherfucker. That's a thing, though, bro. Like, instead of asking me, like, do you want to meet my dad? I could say no. But at the end of the day, are you going to trick me into it? Now, she told me already. I'm like, you know what? I got something to do that day. I got basketball practice. Man, goddamn well, I don't play basketball. But at the end of the day, she gave me she at least had the courtesy to kind of give me a little hint. And I'm like, bro, she did you bogus, bro. She brought the whole circus over. Nigga, but see, that's the whole thing. That's a non-American, that's a thing, bro. That's a thing. But even Renisha did that stupid ass shit. She told me to come over, and she told me her mom was about to come over at a certain time, and her ass showed up like an hour early. I'm like, I was trying to fuck. I don't want to meet your fucking mom. Like, you're like, nah. But at the end of the day, just those cultural differences, yeah, I think that's a real thing, man. That's something that needs to be definitely watched out for. That's real important.
True.
Hell yeah. So I was thinking about a lot of people talk about, like, as far as the Cam Newton situation. I wrote down what he said because my other phone is just not agreeing with me, man. So he went on the $1 Million Worth of Game show, not game show, but the podcast, right, with Wallow and Gilly, and he was saying, he said that. Nah, I'm quoting this from TMZ. The nigga said that a woman needs to cater to a man's needs, saying that his ideal partner needs to know how to cook and when to be quiet. And he said that I'm a boss bitch, but I'm all of this, but I can't cook. I should have wrote that down a little bit better. But I'm pretty, like, he's saying that females say they're this and say they're that, but they can't do basic wife shit, like traditional wife shit. So as far as that, do you agree with that?
Hold on. I don't want to get mixed. I don't want people to, get my words misconstrued or anything like that.
Facts.
But I kind of agree, but I don't want to say I totally agree. You know what I'm saying?
So you get where he's coming from?
Sort of. Hold on. Like I said, I kind of agree, but I don't agree totally.
So,
With that being said, I expect my wife to have some of those traditional wife values and do traditional wife things. But at the same time, I know it's 2022, and you sometimes have to do what a woman have to do that lives in 2022.
like what? Be a bad bitch?
No. Like, work, take care of business and stuff like that. When I say traditional, I'm talking about, being a 50s housewife and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you gotta be a modern wife. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, and let me put it on myself too. I gotta be a modern husband. You know what I'm saying? I gotta understand that the fact that you work, and I gotta sometimes do some womanly duties around the house, like cook, clean, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's teamwork, what they say, teamwork make the dream work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So I've never really heard anybody say it like that, to be honest. And I watch a lot of red pill shit. I watch a lot of videos pertaining to relationships as far as the truth, which is what red pill means. But at the end of the day, bro, it's what you said that makes total sense because that's what an adult is supposed to do as far as the man aspect. But at the end of the day, I think that being a traditional wife and understanding that where there's certain responsibilities, there's certain rights. I think that's not marketed enough. I think when people in general are discouraged from being natural, people are in general are programmed to do the opposite of what the fuck they're supposed to do. To be honest, and as far as this whole, we make the word wife profanity. We make the word tradition No, I don't support that weird ass, abnormal ass shit. But being a wife and being traditional and like that's profanity now. Like him saying, okay, I wouldn't say she needs to like cook and shut the fuck up. Okay, that's him. That's what he thinks. That's his
Right.
ideal situation. I don't want you to shut the fuck up, but I need there to be silence at some point. Like I don't circus activity is for clowns. So at the end of the day, I don't want to say what another man meant to say, but I'm
Nah.
thinking that if I were to say it, I would say just know how to just put the circles with the circles and the triangles with the triangles and just
Hold on.
know what's appropriate for me and have good timing with certain shit and
Not
don't
only that, hold
yeah
on, no. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
that and then it's more so like just knowing that I'm not your girlfriend, so as far as all the I can give because I'm a quiet guy, like even though I like to talk a lot on camera, for the most part I'm a quiet guy, so all the chitter chatter and all that talking to me like I'm Jane from down the street, like I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not Wendy Williams, but I understand you want to talk to me because you love me and all of that. But you need to, like I said, peace is love. So shut up. But go ahead.
Um, like I was gonna say, a real woman know how to support their man and know how to follow their man and know how to be submissive to their man.
hmm
They just looking for that right man who that can be submissive to and everything.
Now, I'm gonna ask
That's
you
all.
a question. What is so? It's a hard question, bro. So if you need a couple moments, let me know. But what is the
Right, go ahead.
power? What's the power of submission, do you think? What is the advantage of a woman being submissive?
Mm, I gotta really think about
I've thought about that, and I really couldn't give anybody a clear answer either because it's not like, that's not my word, you know? So, but a lot of people up there like, well, why should I be, you want power, but you don't know how to use it. You're going to abuse it. You're going to end up fucking shit up. So if you can manipulate, I'm going to just use the word manipulate for all intents and purposes. You can maneuver and you can operate. You can program certain things to your liking from the back without the person, the man or the woman, depending on what kind of nigga you are, knowing what you're doing covertly. You could be in total control because if this person is supposed to be the leader, a good leader is gonna fucking follow the instruction or the needs or appeal to the needs of the village. So if you keep on trying to be a man, like you do man shit, then it's two men in this situation. You're supposed to be a woman, then the shit's gonna get fucked up and weird. I think I explained myself kind of clearly. I don't know. I feel confident in the answer though. Hold on, let me check my battery on my battery. Check me.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, man. I'm just putting my shit on the charger. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
I had to
so,
take my head.
but like I was going to, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Um, but a real female, a real woman, should I say, is not gonna just follow anybody's lead. You know what I'm saying? And she's not gonna follow any instruction that is not good to her.
Mhm.
So, and the people that's like I got this chick to do this and do that. For me, she's dumb in the situation, but that's not a real woman. That's
Right.
that's that's that little dumb bitch down the street. I don't you know what I'm saying? I don't keep it real. That's the little bitch that follow any little stupid instruction. That's the little dumb bitch. You know what I'm saying? She's just stigmatized. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a real woman is going to submit the right way and follow, key instructions on how to live a good life.
So at the end of the day, I mean, my opinion is it's not fact, but at the end of the day, a lot of people are getting mad at Cam Newton. He wasn't talking about. I don't think. I actually didn't hear the fucking interview, but I don't think he was. Is that my cologne? I think I did, yeah. I think I dropped my cologne down the stairs and the neighbor put it on top of the fire extinguisher box. Good looking, brother. That shit smells good as a motherfucker. But he was talking about for him. He wasn't saying all women. I don't believe. I don't think he would be. He might be ignorant enough to say some shit like that, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna give you an example. Like my granddad, my mom met my granddad for the first time when I was like 3 years old. My name is Hister, Hister. Some people in my family say Heister. Some people in my family say Hister. So she finally met my granddad, and she was like, "Oh my God, I've been wanting to meet you for so long just to ask you this question. How do you pronounce your last name? Is it Hister or is it Heister?" Now, because my grandfather is who he is, he comes from where he comes from. He comes from Inglewood, Chicago, bro. This man said, how you pronounce my last name is the way that my son told you to pronounce it. And I was like, bro, if that's not the most pimpish shit, that was the most manly answer. Like, that's some man shit. Like, I'm not your man. Why you asking me? Why are you asking me how to say your man's last name? However he told you, do that. I'm not your man. Don't take instructions from me. From me, I'm not your motherfucking man. Like that's. I think that's really. I think that's really important. I think that's a great example. Like at the end of the day, I'm not like a fucking slave driver. And to be honest, I'm a chill ass nigga. I really want peace, to be honest. So all of this extra, I get it, but I get it. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is just it's extra shit, you know.
Like, damn, what I was gonna say? You're gonna like literally if the relationship is what it's supposed to be, it's always gonna be peace. There's always gonna be peace. It's gonna be peace, love, understanding, and fun and games. Like for real. And
Well,
if it's not what it is, try to work on it. I won't say leave the situation. Try to work on it. You know what I'm saying? Because all it is takes not like seriously. Real relationships always gonna take communication and understanding from both sides. Y'all got to constantly communicate, constantly talk.
right. Because at the end of the day, what people fail to understand, which is why I mean I'm infinitely thankful for a lot of people, but Kevin Samuels, man. I think he really put it through. He really made it. Is trying to make it mainstream that relationships, and especially romantic relationships, all relationships, there is a business, bro. It's a business. So whatever you do for that job, whatever you do for that white man, nigga, do that same shit in this environment. All these contractual uh, movements that you make and actions that you take, you do that for that white man. You show up on time for that white man, or whoever, the business owner or the manager or the supervisor. They ask you to do that. You don't have too many words for me because you know it's gonna be consequence. If you do that for that nigga, do that shit for your husband or your wife.
Exactly. You know what
Act
cracks
like
me
they
up?
like the
As
theme
you say
song
that,
because it does.
you know what I like why you say that though, because I know a person that would clean the whole goddamn factory where I work at, push the broom until it's time to go if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you won't do them dishes in the sink when you get home though. This is you won't push that broom for the you push that broom when you